Welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Jessica Klein. First on the local scene. The James F. Mitchell Airport in Bequia is set to resume operations today, August 26, 2024, as announced by the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The airport has been non-operational since July 1st due to damages from Hurricane Beryl, including moderate roof damage and a significant breakdown of the stone barrier defense. Efforts to repair and clean up the site involved debris removal, reinforcing the seawall, restoring communications, and tackling various weather-related challenges. Following the initial assessment on July 2nd, restoration work was carried out, such as the realignment of the antenna and solar panels on the automatic weather station on August 9th, and the restoration of the Bay High side by the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority technician on July 11th. Cleanup activities from August 15th to 19th were hindered by waterlogged conditions. On August 23rd, the final debris removal was completed with the grass strip grading scheduled. Final checks were planned for August 24th, leading up to the anticipated reopening on August 26, 2024. The reopening of the J.F. Mitchell Airport is a significant step in the recovery process post-Hurricane Beryl, and continuous efforts are essential to ensure the airport's infrastructure remains resilient in the long term. An Mpox virus outbreak was declared a global public health emergency on August 14, 2024, based on data from the Democratic Republic of the Congo and the recommendations of the International Health Regulations Committee. Following this declaration, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has boosted surveillance and testing capabilities nationwide to track and manage confirmed cases of Mpox. Mpox is a viral zoonosis that shares symptoms with smallpox but is generally less severe. Symptoms may include rashes, mucosal lesions, fever, headache, muscle aches, fatigue, back pain, and swollen lymph nodes. To minimize the risk of viral infections, according to the Ministry of Health, the public is being urged to maintain a healthy lifestyle by practicing regular hand washing, limiting contact with others, and seeking medical attention promptly if exposed. Ongoing surveillance for infectious diseases, along with educational sessions for healthcare workers and the community, are part of the preventative measures taken by the ministry. The ministry says it will continue to closely monitor the situation and provide updates as necessary. As of now, there have been no confirmed cases of Mpox in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Still on the local scene, an assessment of Hurricane Beryl's impact on local farmers in Union Island was conducted on Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. During the assessment, Agricultural Extension Officer Alan Williams from the Grenadines and the Communications Unit visited the southern Grenadine Island. The Ministry of Agriculture announced that 6 farmers were identified to receive support for reconstructing their agricultural production under the UBEC CERC Food Insecurity Project. Mr. Williams stressed the importance of revitalizing vegetable production on Union Island to aid affected farmers and strengthen the island's agricultural sector. The hurricane caused significant damage, wiping out most of the farmers' crops. As a response, the Ministry of Agriculture has pledged to collaborate closely with these farmers to help them rebuild their agricultural livelihoods and facilitate a steady recovery. On the regional scene, a total of 182 individuals were returned to Haiti by the crew of the United States Coast Guard cutter Diligence following an interception south of the Turks and Caicos Islands. According to a statement from the Coast Guard, the repatriated individuals were found on a disabled migrant vessel. Lieutenant Nicholas Fujimoto, an enforcement officer with the Coast Guard District 7, highlighted the heightened risk of unlawful maritime migration during the hurricane season. Makeshift vessels used during this period are often not seaworthy and struggle to navigate rough seas brought on by the unpredictable weather and tropical storms. The lieutenant emphasized the Coast Guard's proactive monitoring of maritime routes to the United States and international Caribbean waters to prevent tragic loss of life at sea. Furthermore, the U.S. Coast Guard issued a warning that migrants intercepted at sea or apprehended on land will not be permitted to remain in the United States or any U.S. territory. Those who arrive unlawfully may face ineligibility for illegal migration options and could be repatriated to their country of origin or departure in accordance with U.S. laws, policies, and international treaty obligations. Reports from the International Organization for Migration, IOM, indicate that nearly 100,000 people have been deported to Haiti in the first 7 months of the year amidst a backdrop of violence in the Caribbean nation. The Jamaican government is poised to receive a US $1.4 million grant from the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, to support a project focusing on enhancing climate resilience and infrastructure along the Kingston Harbor Walk, KHW. This initiative target will benefit over 600,000 residents in the Kingston, St. Andrew, and Port Royal areas that rely on the KHW, known as the seventh largest harbor globally. The CDB emphasizes the significance of safeguarding the KHW against climate change threats and notes the project's focus on preserving this vital asset that contributes to the local economy and ecosystem. Funding for the project comes from CDB's Special Development Fund, the Government of Italy, and the European Union's Caribbean Action for Resilience Enhancement (CARE) program. The initiative aims to provide various services to foster the long-term development of the Kingston Harbor Walk and its surroundings. The acting vice president of operations at CDB, Therese Turner-Jones, expressed the bank's dedication to climate resilience and sustainable development in the region through their support for this project. This grant equips Jamaica to tackle environmental challenges and build a more resilient future. The Kingston Harbor Walk project will offer recommendations and designs encompassing both structural and non-structural solutions, with implementation overseen by the Urban Development Corporation, a significant contributor to the sustainable urban development in Jamaica. Finally, on the international scene, Sudan is currently experiencing a famine crisis as reported. The self-proclaimed government, the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, recently took a small step to alleviate the famine by permitting 15 UN aid trucks from Chad to deliver food to those in need. This action has raised hopes among aid agencies for a comprehensive relief effort that could potentially save numerous lives. However, some are concerned that this gesture may be merely symbolic and too late. The Integrated Food Security Phase Classification (IPC) system, accredited by the UN, declared the existence of famine conditions in parts of Darfur, the western region of Sudan, 4 weeks ago. With more than half of Sudan's 45 million people urgently requiring aid, the country faces a humanitarian crisis, the most significant globally for several months. Over 12 million individuals are displaced, with nearly 2 million refugees in neighboring nations like Chad, Egypt, and South Sudan. Some experts in food security worry that up to 2.5 million people could perish from starvation by the end of this year. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. for WEFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.